roll. As Chovy's once again going to lock in the Azir. I don't think anyone's too excited about that, but it is going to be the Skarner Thresh. This is, you know...
A turtle that transformed into like a hare and then a horse. I'll hold that thought.
Chovy, I don't know whether he was looking at where he was, as he is just going to die. Not going to use the flash, and that was a whoopsie. Going to be very frustrating. Arthur's going to jump on in here, though. He's looking for Peanut. Is snagged by that Q just a little bit. And Smite is picked up for both of these players, so we'll see who's going to win that 50-50. As right now, Peanut just playing with Arthur a little bit, but does get the stun. Smite goes down as now Kellen crashes on in. Vista, decent playback, but Arthur is just going to go down. The early rotation over from Bay is pretty obvious as Death gets over the wall, but is still going to die. Vista's going to do the same thing. And what has happened to Harmful Life Esports?
Yeah, this is
a disaster
this
completely.
Is terrible. Like that actually. Oh, you can't win this anymore. Meanwhile,
what the heck? Now he's on the other side of the map trying to steal something away. He's dead. The red buff is going to be there. Dudu can't help it all, and I just don't know. Way in the enemy jungle on the other side, like, I don't know. So it's a 3-buff start. He was able to get a scuttle, so at least there's that for the Skarner right
already, and he's like, oh, well, I've got Rel too, so guess what?
Yeah,
making a play.
Def does have the Gravitum, so it does stun up Peanut for a little bit, but the Watch Out Eep is so scary, and he's just so fed. It's ludicrous. Throws a bowling ball, picks up the kill easily. Isn't even needed for this dive on the bottom side as Bay. He's got the Haymaker, so he'll be totally okay as well. He's really struggling to do this game. And Kellen and Peanut also going to turn up here. They're going for a bit of a dive, but they're going to have to get it done pretty early. As I think the Crystalline Exoskeleton is in. 4 members up towards the top side. Bay moving on in. He's at half health, but he's set as well. Chovy moving on over. Already, Peanut has been shut down. I don't want to say, is it time for the turnaround? Is it time for the comeback? But that is definitely the right kill to get, as Dr. Army's going to be able to take down this house.
This just ends up being a disaster where you don't have the fight you're looking for. Rich is not a factor, so that was a little bit sloppy from Nongshim. They did the best game. Here's the, you know, Duck Dom swap, or rather the Aphelios swap. We've seen Duck Dom do so many times, ironically, now against him. We'll get the turret. So, you know, like, Aphelios is 0-2-1. He's significantly behind in items, but he is still going to scale up very well in the late game. Skarner has his ultimate now. He's got his flash back up.
Yeah.
So things like this, like, they can be powerful. If Nongshim get too greedy.
Oh, Duck Dom.
Speaking of.
Oh, that's some greed. That's some greed right there. Flash and Pale is so easy. And this is the most dead as Samira's ever been. She is... Oh my god, the damage! As Dudu's going to have to be called in. The teleport comes on up and he does find the stun. But man, that was so close to a turnaround. Sometimes you forget how ridiculously fed Samira can do. As Chovy's going to throw Bay towards the rest of his team. There's that showstopper that we were talking about, and there's the Watch Out Eep. You've definitely got to watch out for it this time around.
Yeah, you do.
He's going to get red buff slowed and hunted down here by Peanut. But thankfully, there is still a turret here. Def trying to turn it around. Calibrum is in. Rich comes in. And Bay's now looking for more. Great 2-man face breaker, and the AoE damage is massive. And yeah, the
single time. He actually doesn't have lane priority when this starts. But actually goes, well, okay.
This is dead. You can keep going.
Yeah, so
he's the naturals too. Certainly something that you do like to prioritize a lot higher if you go for the lethal tempo. But this tower is lost to the world.
Fight though with the flash and Pale. I think they should probably just walk away. He doesn't even have it in time.
Yeah, doesn't have the flash up, and Drake goes down a little bit too early. Harmful Life do manage to set up this minion wave for the turret, but it looks like they won't make it over there. Bowling Ball is going to connect. Only onto Arthur here. It can make the Skarner sleepy if they would like to, and now Nongshim are closing in on Harmful Life.
Bay is on the perfect place right now in this team fight to grab somebody.
Yeah, this is the scary thing, right? Like, the engage from Nongshim is also just so scary.
The Peanut?
Oh, Chovy's off to the side. He gets body slammed and taken away from the lantern, but is able to pick that one up. Now flashes over the wall. Kellen right in amongst it and gets so much value with all his CC. The Skarner and Thresh just die as an afterthought. The Emperor's Divide's good there from Chovy, but he's still getting closed in on, and this is looking like potentially the ace unless Dudu can just run away. Chovy also, you know, trying to be a bit of a hero here as far as an escape artist act is concerned.
Correctly in every single team fight.
Well, Arthur's going to go for the Hail Mary. Looks once again for Doc Dom, who gets pulled underneath the turret. Gets taken down to half health, but then just flashes on out. Even takes a turret shot. It looks like he's going to be okay. Good flash there from Kellen. Gets him out of it, but there's a crocodile lying in wait, and Cole the Meek is going to work out for him. Cask is a bit of a party there for Rich, who's now going to have to flash away. That's one pick, but it's in trade for one anyway. So you're probably not necessarily...
Like, you give him the first one, it's like, this is a bit silly, but then after that, it just got worse and worse. He was trying to play for an aggressive catch-up. Like, he was basically saying, like,
trying to get whatever they can on the map. So far, only one turret has been taken here for Humble Life Esports. As Nongshim now moving on over. The Phalanx has been set up here for Humble Life Esports. They'll take down the turret, but what are they going to lose for it? Great barrel! Brings in the Skarner. He's just going to die. There's a bit of an afterthought. There is a lantern right there. Deft is going to pick that one up. Dudu's pretty big. As Doctarm gets the ulti, but isn't actually able to get too much work done. As Chovy now off to the side, shifts some sands trying to get away, but Peanut's real fast, flashing on forward. Bowling ball will miss, and another lantern will be picked up. But now Deft has been closed in on it. The set is going to be taken down as Doctarm trying to take matters into his own hands. Rich closing in from the top, Kellen crashing down over the wall, and another bowling ball will connect. Good exhaust onto Peanut. There is Deft trying to kite, but he's not going to be able to do it. The Samira locks him down. Vista's now under a turret, misses the hook, but is now...
For Doctarm. Peanut's damage, you saw it just previously on the graph, you highlighted it.
But it was scary in the early 2v2, right? That's what was scary about the Renekton, and I feel like, you know, the early 2v2 didn't exist. As there's the Stride Breaker, Bay getting on in there, he's going down pretty low, Dudu's still pretty strong, Deft trying to stay unhit towards the backside and lands a great Moonlight Vigil. Dudu's still alive and has a lantern, the extra shield there as well, makes him very strong as Peanut is going to be taken down.
Of Arthur right now. Well.
He is over to the side, does have flash, gets on in there, but he's unable to lock down the Drake, and that's Mountain Soul now on this very tanky Nongshim team. Already the Skarner is going to be taken down. That's the double kill for the Samira. The resets are coming in as Peanut finds Vista over to the side. Chovy's going to die as well. And I think, you know, Hanwha, they had that one fight that was pretty good. Now they've been aced, and now the Baron will fall, or they could just run it up mid and take the Nexus. This has been a weird and wonderful game. But I imagine most of our Humble Life Esports fans are pretty happy that it's over.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy it's over too.
Yeah, me too.
They can't, I don't think they can end here because the wave was a little bit slow, but they can get an inhibitor and then parlay that into Baron. And then and not to mention that, like, once they get this Baron, they do just get the inhibitor right afterwards, basically, because they have Baron buff and they just push it in. And
if they want to. While I apologize to everyone about that. But yeah, this is the most gigantic jungle diff I've seen in a very, very long time. 5-2-17 versus 0-7-5. My God,
yeah.
Peanut is just massive. I'm glad that we mentioned it in the you know, as we were setting up this series, and Peanut definitely did deliver.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't want to get too harsh on Arthur because this is something that he took some major risks, and you know, obviously that ended up costing them the game, but. You know, for everything else that's happened since then, like, you can't fault him for where he's at in the mid to late game because he's just so far behind he can't do anything. Like,
I mean, the mistakes have already been made, right? Like, it doesn't really matter what he does from here on out. Exactly. Kellen's going to dive on in, and look at how fast melts. This is just beautiful. From Nongshim Red Force, the Samira is doing those Fed Samira things, and it's pretty disgusting. Dudu makes it onto the fountain. I think try and preserve the KDA here, buddy. That's what I'd probably do. As he is going to get back there. But the Nexus turrets, they are melting at the hands of Nongshim, and they have come out. It's a bit of a tour de force here for Nongshim, but I think a lot of it is a little bit reliant on Humble Life Esports not necessarily figuring themselves out in the early game, and hopefully they can tidy it up for games.
Also possible. Like, let's find out.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Talia, it's not terrible. You have really strong lockdown, but it's going to be hard over and hit the Chovy's health bar a little bit, so it's a little bit harder for him to actually come over here and deny this. He's still going to try for it, but it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, hitting a seismic shove is going to be tough onto Peanut here as Bay. Not too many options as far as getting out of this pit is concerned, as the train does come through. Morgan just sidesteps it, though, as we've got a bit of a 2v2 here on the bottom side. Kellen taking a lot of damage. The heal comes out from Deft as the flash does come through, as Bay gets seismic shoved back. Great cask out from Morgan. Has Chovy no flash, remember, but he crab raves anyway, and the barrel's going to slow down Rich. The flash just a little bit too late.
Really scary.
But we got a fight on the bottom side. Kellen going to get taken down extraordinarily low. I love this. You know, he flashes instantly. Arthur's there in this game as another steal on the blue buff is being attempted. Bowling ball going to miss as there's the Justice Punch. Chovy making his way over, and Bay extraordinarily squishy, but Arthur now finds himself in amongst a whole bunch of members as Deft was looking for a killer instinct, but it's dangerous. He still goes in. Haymaker's available, and that's a sleepy KaiSser potentially. They don't even need to press the button. Peanut actually did.
The clear speed you were talking about, and we've seen Arthur hold that thought.
Yep, there's a head-up hold. There's a heroic entrance. Is going to allow the Galio to get in there, but the Samira gets the ulti. Deft extraordinarily low, wants to try and trade this kill back. Doesn't have a ward and has to face check, and Doctarm just walks on over and with a Q.
So well played. And this is starting to look really good for Nongshim. I was talking about how Arthur, he was behind in clear.
Oh, Deft had a ward.
He did have a ward, actually. But did that just come online?
Yeah,
it
maybe
might have
it
just
did.
come
Maybe
online.
it did.
I think it did. Because he definitely would have used it. Just barely came online.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arthur is behind significantly in terms of his clear because he's been looking for so many ganks, but they haven't been as successful as he would have liked to. It could have been a great start in that mid gank, but it didn't work. And now we're going to see this Rift Herald taken by Nongshim as well, it looks like. Peanut's got better smite.
Yep, Peanut's going to be able to take that one down. Rich, though, is going to go extraordinarily low as Morgan doesn't get it with the last boop. And there's the cask. That's going to claim the kill onto the Scion.
And they do take that away before that shield bow is done.
There.
Yeah, Rich, for more here.
Oh, great
Good.
flash from Morgan to deny the train ride, but he gets himself the Soul Pointer shield once again, flicked back and will be taken down as Morgan body slamming and gets
Morgan hits a really nice cast there, so it doesn't even end up being a trade. And Morgan was not falling for Rich's shenanigans. He was like, I know Peanut's here. I'm actually going to push the issue. That was actually really cool.
Now completed. And we saw the value that that item gives the Renekton in the last game. And also, you know, the entirety of the season, as that's a decent taunt there. But the Samira is just going to take down the support Galio. Kellen soaking up damage with his ulti. Is now Deft trying to get some work done, but he gets knocked up. There's the flash face breaker. As another ulti comes through for the Samira, but the set's going to go down. Deft is going to follow. Arthur taken out. And these are more kills going to Doctarm, which is so scary. Chovy. Dominus has been popped. He's waiting for the opportune moment. Gets over the wall, but that's a Scion that he's doing battle with. Finds the snare onto Peanut, who tries to get out with the flash to follow it up as Chovy's trying to be the monster that we know that he is, but Doctarm gets the ulti, and it's a double kill for the Scion.
They don't. But also at the same time, during that Lunar New Year break, he's improved quite a bit. His rotations have been
happened.
really nice.
He's maybe changed up his breakfast routine or something like that. Added a few extra wheat picks, and things are looking real good. As Morgan just trying to frontline here, as we've got an attempted team fight, but Morgan just taking a lot of free damage at this point in time. You can see Rich doing a fair bit at the beginning of this fight, as in goes the Galio, but that was a little bit of a whoopsie. Kellen is going to use that flick as a taxi to get a really nice pulverized heroic entrance. Is going to come down as Peanut finds himself on the wrong side of the fight, and he will be taken down. Chovy now off towards the backside, and they're getting funneled into this choke point. Again, Nongshim with a lot of extra vision, but Bay's being caught out. There's another slice. The dice will certainly follow here for Chovy and locks down the set. As now Nongshim, they get the train out of the station. Vista will be taken down here. Doctarm gets another ulti. The Samira is huge. Flash out from Deft, but Doctarm still gonna cut him up. Arthur doesn't find another volley, and he makes it over. The wall is going to come through, though, and the Talia locks down the Samira, and Harmalife, in the end,
going over to this Talia that's had such big problems in terms of the farming in the early game, and the ganks weren't as successful as I think.
Yeah. Well, we have another fight around Shirley here, potentially brewing, as Chovy's going to make his way up. Bowling Ball's going to miss as Deft trying to find some damage. Okay, the Herald going to largely be ignored as Deft Killer Instinct towards the backline. Kellen soaking a lot of damage, though, as Bay trying to do the same thing. Now, Peanut does find Deft, who throws out the heal and isn't going to go down just yet, but Kellen gets in there with the headbutt pulve, and they do get rid of the KaiSser. However, will the rest of the fight be taken down? Chovy's, they're trying to kite him as best they can. There are some low health bars. Rich is looking for the knockups, as Doctarm as well getting very close towards that S rank. Isn't quite able to make it, as Baron's going to join. And Vista and Morgan find themselves on the wrong side of the map. Bowling Ball comes through as Vista's going to get popped back, and the Justice Punch is good. Even avoiding the Baron is Kellen, going to get taken down by the Baron. Vista with the God play, as now Chovy's looking for Peanut. Should be able to lock that one up, as now Morgan is going to turn up. Doctarm finds himself in amongst three. The body slam's great to interrupt the ult. Now, Rich, that is certainly a sad B, because it was looking so good for Nongshim until it absolutely wasn't.
Yeah, it was looking really good for them. Like, they got the damage out of the fight. Arthur and Daft were the players who were dead. And the fight, we'll probably get a replay of it in just a moment, but this was looking really good for Nongshim, and every single fight.
But, you know, Bay will still be set as the game goes on, and this game is about Doctarm and whether he can carry, and doesn't really have much to do with what Bay can do as far as resources and snowballing is concerned. Yeah, there's a wall that comes down, trying to break this fight up just a little bit. Kellen and Peanut just wait out the wall, though, as Chovy comes through. Dominus has been popped. He's looking for a target. Bay's not his option for the stun, and in fact, everyone moves out of the way and just lets Rich die while Chovy's just...
Right, because he has so much gold.
I mean, he's huge, yeah.
Yeah, he's even got his cloak online too. Like, he's massive, so he can finish off targets that are even, you know, higher health than you normally would be when you're looking to ult at this stage in the game, because he is so far ahead. But getting those targets low is the hard part. Peanut's even going to commit his smite here. I don't know about this.
Yeah, and the sleep as the teleport's going to come down. Morgan's trying to make his way in here as there's the headbutt pulp. Morgan wanting to try and peel for Chovy, who slices, dices, gets himself out. Now Vista does have his ulti available. Will throw it down on top of the Gragas, who's surviving for a long time thanks to that shield. And now Def, oh, he just gets turned on yet again. Killer Instinct flashes over the wall. He's going to survive for the moment, but yeah, Doctor's just a little bit too strong.
He already used the sleep early on in the fight, as you pointed out. So it's very, very difficult actually to make that fight happen when the turn is going to come through. But everybody else rotated up and then
playing fast and loose League of Legends, and they did have a lead. It is now dwindled, and they are now behind by about 200 gold.
Those slower, longer fights do so much damage with this passive with his Leandris. He's even got his Morel and Omicron online now. Like, he does so much damage that Duck Dom is just waiting for the perfect opportunity. As long as he isn't trapped or isolated early, it's so easy for him to do it. He has a shield bow, he's got a collector, and he just has so much more money than Def does. So Def can't peel in these fights with his damage. He can't push people back. He can't threaten kills with his Killer Instinct. He can't even Killer Instinct at all. Chovy.
Yeah, he might just be dead as the exhaust comes down. Lilia is going to lock down that kill. And now the rest of Palmer Life are going to turn up. This is not a fight that they really want to take, as Def once again getting closed in on. Great cask for the disengage. But that's only going to stop, or at least staunch the bleeding for now. Not going to win anything out, of course. Palmer Life back away. Def completely out of mana. This bottom lane going to be something that they need to tidy up as well.
And this is looking like we might be threatening some inhibitors with this push from the Baron buff, the pressure here. Like four members on mid. You even see Peanut is side laning. He's trying to set up some push on top. And this is so much map control right now. And Morgan is trying his best to go get something done on the bottom side of the map, but he's not going to be able to stay very long now.
Had to have another one.
I mean, look, we're going to 4 games at least, so 25% chance, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As Rich is continuing to take some damage, but now he's pretty happy to do so, as Vista and Arthur both going to go golden. And that's going to be the showstopper towards the backline. Arthur is just eradicated as Chovy in amongst it, getting a lot of healing done as Def gets over the wall with Killer Instinct. Kellen gets over to try and stop him here, as he is not going to be able to win that fight against the KaiSser, who does have a fair bit of money right now, but you can see Chovy and Morgan trying to do their best as Def just sneaking in some Acathian Rain from over the wall as Zombie Rich is trying to chase down Morgan, who walks lazily out of the way. And yeah, like you say, there's some really low health bars, but fighting right now is dicey, especially in a 2 versus 3. Yeah,
this is
super creeps heading through.
So a lot of time bought here for Nongshim. Like, this is working very well for them. Well, not anymore with that death there for Bay. But they bought a lot of time, and there's a lot of pressure in the base.
They might potentially lose a
that's what I'm saying.
A Nexus turret, as this super creep is going to be taken down. There's another wave, so it is going to survive for the moment, but it is limping, one could say. Generally, 2 Nexus turrets is enough at full health to take down 1 wave of super creeps. As Peanut is going to be hunted down, and Def finally getting some revenge. As the purple buff is also going to be dealt with as well, as Humble Life just move over and take it for free.
So macro control, which means they have vision control. So Nongshim are going to find it a little bit more difficult to set up for these fights.
And this Baron power play is going to be big, as Rich is going to get pushed back. There's the flick. I like it a lot. The Scion just being thrown around like a ragdoll as Chovy in the front line, but Dominus is going to be there to keep him up. Deft grabbing one of the kills, but Zombie Scion is still there, trying to get some work done. Good face breaker there from Bay, but he's flicked back and destroyed by the Talia. Arthur seems to have got his eye in here at this stage of the game, and unfortunately for Nongshim, they're just sort of throwing themselves at Harmor Life Esports, and now their inner turret is going to go down as well. 3.3k on the Baron power play here, and it's going to move up to 4, as you can see.
Yeah, and Rich just overextending there, trying to buy time, being way overzealous, not respecting the amount of CC that Harmor Life Esports' comp has. He goes down, Bay gets pulled back into the seismic shove, and that's very likely just going to be a game. Well, they're not going to push the issue.
Surf around much faster, so the catch-up mechanic is certainly there. Not actually able to get ahead of Peanut or anything like that, but certainly is able to
beat him here.
That's a Oblivion Orb on a Alistair, by the way. They are realizing that they want to get some of these grievous wounds. As Bay's getting chunked down into the backline goes Chovy, and immediately goes Golden as well. The set dealt with, fantastic cast just to cause some chaos. His Docked Arm, it's Deft that's looking for him, but the Blade Well is fantastic. Deft going to turn his attention to the cow as the ulti not going to get too much value. Morgan flashes in with a body slam, and the KaiSser locks down the Samira. That should be lights out here for Nongshim, as of course Docked Arm is almost all of their damage. Chovy's dealing with Peanut towards the backside. Bambi, no hope against the Crocodile. And Rich versus Morgan, this is just an extension of that wet noodle fight, as Morgan's just running around, taking a drink, and that was really exciting.
Meanwhile,
until it wasn't. Meanwhile, the base is just going to be obliterated.
Yep, that's going to be the end of this one. We're going to a game 3 here, Atlas, and it was fun while it lasted, I have to say, but Nongshim with a few bad decisions in the late game, got behind, and in this draft, I don't hate it. There's the final pick coming through with the Victor, so, you know, we basically were able to figure it out pretty early on that this is not going to be God. This
Peanut
is so all in.
This is so
crazy.
hyphy. And he flashes over,
go?
and... Okay,
oh, he has to go, right?
surely.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, well, there's no flash, remember. Get some vision there with the pillar, one of its many great uses. Slice, dice, Morgan gets out scot-free. And now Chovy's going to turn up, and Peanut, no flash to get himself out of this one. Gravity Field is there, and a bit of yakety sax, but we get a crab rave for it as Chovy...
Bottom. This is a really good start for On Life Esports, all things considered.
And no Cloud Soul.
Well, yeah. You know, this is a not as bad reverse as just gonna see a little cracker call here. Don't think there's more than they can do, even with the 6.
Yep, Docked Arm throwing out the ultimate as Vista gets the flash out of him. Very nicely done. Deft over to the side. Blade Well is available though, so Deft looks a little bit silly after pressing the Killer Instinct button. Still able to poke them down underneath the turret. There's the crash down as Deft throws out the claim. Vista's going to die as Docked Arm gets the S rank and Deft
executed. That's a fun little all-in to see, kind of turn on its head there. Really like to see it. Docked Arm getting fed again early. I mean, it's only 1 kill, but it's a good start.
Well, now Arthur is going to be running away. The Subjugate is down onto the Skarner as Morgan looking for some damage onto Rich. He's just going to farm behind this turret. Bay walks in, but he's very low. The Scatter the Weak doesn't really work out. There's a Hex Flash from Vista. Headbutt, but the flash is out of the way of the Pulverize. Bay now, without a flash, is actually a big deal. Against a lane with Chovy in it. As Peanut comes through, puts down the pillar. Arthur now caught out of position. He's going to be taken down. We got to cue the yakety sax yet again.
Make the play here happen in mid because Bay is just so pushed, but he's going for it anyways.
Yep, Peanut going to get stunned up here a little bit as immediately the Subjugate hasn't actually been used. I tell a lie, is now Arthur trying to run away. There's the crash down, Magnet Storm, and a very dead Scorpion. Chovy not quite able to offer enough damage back.
Because Docked Arm is starting to get a little bit out of control. They have a little bit more freedom to roam there. And the Attract Repel comes through again. Rel is just busted, man. You can go anywhere, you could do anything. You could set up for any gank. You just set up any 1300 nearly here across the board. Is going to make this transition a lot easier.
Ooh, Arthur being very sneaky is this Scorpion. Is Deft over to the side. Immediately, Peanut's just going to flash away. Doesn't want anything to do with this, but still, they get under the turret. They take him down. Headbutt is going to create enough distance, and he's going to be taken. Morgan now looking for Docked Arm. The Magnet Storm used defensively is very nice from Kellen to keep Docked Arm alive. Whether it's going to be enough, though, is the question. As Killer Instinct comes down, Kellen gets the heal from Docked Arm, looking to try and keep him alive. The Blade Well's fantastic.
All of this extra gold here with these minions. So even though Immortal Shield Bow finished fairly early here for Docked Arm, you know, otherwise it's been around the bottom side of things, but they still end up losing Peanut.
And it's an example of what this instead. Shirley's just going to cram her noggin into it. Rich now looking for a flanking play as the rest of Nongshim do converge. Fantastic pillar. And there's the Magnet Storm. This is what we were talking about. The headbutt back, though, onto the Rel is going to get it.
How much damage Chovy's going to do later on in this game. I feel like as long as Arthur gets anybody with his suppression there, if he actually gets that all off, like, I mean, it's a 5v4 and there's so much damage, it's so stable.
Yeah, Morgan unfortunately doesn't get his dice, as he does at least have a Gore Drinker, which does keep him up for a little bit longer. Arthur now trying to help out. Chovy comes down and he's just going to pick up the pieces. Morgan actually happy to dive back in as Gravity Field's going to stop this Gragas from doing anything, and that's in fact just a double kill for the
Finish. I'm not sure if he has steroids. Doesn't end up talking anyways if he did. But he's just so hard to kill.
Well, Kellen's in once again. Does find a decent stun there with the Attract Repel, but now that the Aftershock is down, he's a little bit squishy. Vista finds a two-man Pulverize, but will get stunned on the back end. There's the headbutt away onto Doctor, but now he's looking for Deft. Does get interrupted there with the Chaos Storm, but finally ticks down. I think that was the last bit of a Cathian Rain.
Certainly we've had better Gragas games from him.
Yep, that's the dead Samira. She's real dead.
Asking for ganks and looking for picks, and they failed multiple times, and now they're just going to call them back.
Yep, now that cask actually landed. That hit like 5 people. Definitely trying to make up for lost time as the Magnet Storm comes in, but a little bit defensive there from Kellen as they move on back to Chaos Storm, ripping them to shreds. As Morgan's just playing body block here for this one, as this Baron is getting taken down extraordinarily quickly. Arthur's health bar as well as suffering, but now the fight is on. Kellen trying to get out, does crash down his way to safety as Chovy gets himself out of there, but that's a great scat of the week, but still not quite able to get any of these kills. They looking for it, and Doctor still trying to catch up, and this is what a fight looks like without the Samira there. Barrels coming through, Gravity Field's fantastic though, as Vista is just dead. As Def now finds himself in a choke point, and the Samira grabs herself a double kill. I think there was an opportunity for Harmalife to get out of there.
Yes.
But they just decided not to. And everyone else is actually doing pretty well, aside from Vista there on the bottom side. But Sport Gold, not exactly quite as relevant, as Deft is now looking for Peanut, Attract Repel to give him that extra defensiveness. Morgan does find a flank, but now he finds himself in amongst 5 people. But he's a Renekton with a Gore Drinker, and he's doing pretty well because of that fact. Chovy raining the death rays down as Rich looking to try and get out of there. The Impale not quite able to get the value as Deft is frontlining, but there's the Killer Instinct to get him out. The gameplay button nowhere near enough from Bay as Rich clinging to life as best he can. And they do manage to take down the cow, but Morgan has now found Doctor. That was just an afterthought of a Cull the Meek to take down the Renekton, to take down the Gragas. And now Doctor, he can't really get too many S ranks there as Morgan is just way too big.
We're going to go ahead and get this second Infernal Drake. I'm going to get a huge push here on the bottom side of the map. You can see that the push is also going through for Deft in mid. And, I mean, there's not much to say here for Nongshim. Like, they've missed their power spike. And even though Duckdom is trying his doo-doo, he was the only one who was able to do anything for Hanalife in the late game. And this is even with the nerfs on Core Drinker, the nerfs on Sterox. He's just so tanky, it's almost impossible to kill him.
Yeah, and also he has a 3-point
up soon. And Nongshim they cannot be out here like this.
Well, Peanut is trying to keep himself alive, but he's going to get impaled, brought on back in. Deft is free hitting, the troll is going to go down, and now Kellen does all...
You saw Peanut sit back in his chair and have that cheeky laugh because he knows this game is falling out of his control.
Yeah, Vista off to the side. He's going to buy a fair bit of time here as he headbutts Kellen back. The Baron has been taken down. Sacrificial cow. And
defend your inhibitors this way when it's obviously a 5v4 on the defense, but you can't stop the Drake, and that's really where things are starting to get out of hand. Now they have so much extra damage with the Infernal Soul. Like, this is the damage that Chovy is going to do in these next few team fights. It's just, it shouldn't be shown on TV. Like, I mean,
I'm frightened about what happens when Morgan presses his Gore Drinker button. That's going to be real scary as he's fighting Rich towards the bottom side. Yeah, Peanut dies. That was in the blink of an eye. I had a brief glance towards the battle between the Gragas and the Renekton, and Peanut was dead as Rich does a bit of a sad B, and you can understand exactly why. Harmalife bearing down on the Nexus turrets now. 2 inhibitors taken very, very swiftly.
Well, this has been a series, Atlas.
It has.
Esports really ran away with this third game. This is the decisive victory they were looking for.
Well, here's the last-ditch effort. Chovy's just going to press his denial button to Rich, who's just going to die subsequently. And now Morgan looking to take down Samira, who is just going to get impaled and brought back. Bay just trying to keep himself alive as Peanut is back into the thick of things yet again. And yeah, Vista's going to die. The 0-6 cow is very unhappy as Deft is also going to try his luck going golden here on the fountain, and he will also be taken as everyone just funneling in to have a bit of fun. And I think that really does epitomize what has been a very fun series for both of these teams. As Arthur, maybe just tap the Nexus a couple of times, please, as Chovy's going to get that work done, and the Crab Rave is going to erupt. And that is going to actually, as congratulations for being able to pick up the win. 6-3 now going to be their scoreline. A few unfortunate ones, but generally they've been performing well, and we'll just have to see how things go as we move further on in the tournament.
I mean, if Gen G win the next series with any scoreline, they'll be massively ahead, 5 points the minimum ahead of Final Life Esports, and we'll pass them right afterwards. But look, I mean, this is a top 3 that's pretty solidified, right? If you look at the scoreline that DRX has at their 5-3, like their series have all been very, very close, very much 2-1.